Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about engineering, being a college student and spreading yourself too thin. So let's get into it. So the question in question was actually a story. Hey Frederick, I need your advice. I'm a third year student in electrical engineering. I've done several programming courses in C++. As for this year, I'm quite free because I'm enrolled for a few modules that I'm repeating. Thus, I have been learning web development ever since the beginning of the year, focusing on C Sharp and .NET and .NET Core and so forth. JavaScript, TypeScript, Angular, HTML, and CSS. Essentially, I've taken a full stack route. In addition, I'm enrolling for a C++ course this semester that has one project. On top of that, there is a online machine learning course on edX commencing on the 9th that I will take as well. The reason I want to take it now is that next year I want to take a machine learning project for my final year of study. Which brings us to my problem. Though I have consistently been putting quite some hours, averaging at 8 hours a day plus, I feel like I have stretched myself too thin. I feel like I'm not making enough progress. I haven't been able to build any complete project so far. I intend to get a software development internship at the end of the year, which I suppose will require a portfolio with a real life project. So I don't know if the remaining 4 months will be enough to complete a portfolio, a C++ project, and an online machine learning course. It feels to me that it's quite obvious that I need to cut some stuff out, but I don't know what, because all of these things seem equally important to me. Oof. All right. That was what's yeah, you have a lot of stuff on your plate, dude. I feel like I can relate. I remember I was at one point when I was taking courses, I calculated that if I was sick for a week, I would fail one course. So I completely understand the more than 8 hours a day type thing when it comes to studying. So the thing is, though, what I wrote back to this subscriber was that I think that we need to just back up a little bit on the whole. I need to create a project or like a portfolio and things like that in preparation for work. So guys, let's just ask first and foremost, why do you want a portfolio? Well, if you're going to be a freelancer, a portfolio is a way for you to showcase to an employer in pretty much the same way a store owner has like a shop window. Hey, these are the things that I'm selling, come in and buy them. That's exactly the thing that you're doing as a freelancer. Now, as a junior developer, you may think that it's kind of the same sort of thing there, but it's actually not. Sure, absolutely. If you create some portfolio sites, that's something that's going to show that you have some skill. But unless you are like immensely gifted in some way, it's more about showcasing your passion for the industry. And even like really senior freelancers and really good freelancers have other ways of getting their name out there to customers than creating like these portfolio sites. If you haven't considered that all that much, you do know that like Martin Fowler and Bob Martin and like all of these different speakers that we are also fond of, you know that they are making money from that, right? Like they're not sitting around making portfolio sites. Like they are making money from the brand that they have actually created for themselves. And you can do the same thing. There's nothing unique about any of that. Like being a respected professional within a community doesn't mean that you have to sit and make toy projects if you don't want to. There are many ways to do this. So for a portfolio side, what I said to the subscriber, I mean, if you this story that you gave here, the amount of work that you and effort you're putting into your studies and so forth, this is materials that you can put on a CV. You can absolutely say that. I mean, if you just think about it yourself, if you have a few portfolio projects on one CV with like a very basic education, and then you have another CV with no portfolio projects but like 100. I mean, okay, not 100, but like say 10, 20 extra courses, that's communicating very much the same sort of thing in terms of passion. It showcases that you care about the thing. In many cases, I would even go as far as to say that taking a lot of extracurricular activities and actually having courses under your belt might show even greater dedication than having a portfolio site. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but they are communicating, I hope that this makes sense, the same sort of thing. Now, if you're stressing over the fact that you need to create a portfolio so that you're gonna get a job, you don't have to. There are many ways to get a CV filled out with information that can be relevant to an employer, and that's gonna help you get a job. And having a lot of extra courses like machine learning and so forth, these are the sorts of things that are interesting. I mean, trust me, I think that a lot of people overestimate how much time a employer or a recruiter is going to look at your portfolio. Guys, it's nobody has time to go through like the 50 different applications that you build and just check how good they are. Like, that's not what they're going to do. They're going to look for the, as I've said in the previous video, they're looking for the impression that you're giving, like the holistic impression that your CV is communicating. And that is usually one part quality and one part quantity. Like, what is the impression, like the holistic impression. So if you still feel though that if you don't have to make a portfolio, that you're spreading yourselves a little bit thin, I suggest that you have a think about what's important to you in the coming years, like the here and now. What feels most important right now? Because the thing is, you have a lot of years in front of you. If you're like literally right now in college, getting out of college, my friend, you have so many years left to work and develop as a human that it's almost, I understand the sensation of urgency. I understand that it feels horrible to not like know everything and so forth, but I can promise you, within just a few years of working, you will pick up most of what there is to learn to hold down a professional position as a software developer. It doesn't take 10 years to become a experienced programmer, guys. It takes a few years. Some of you are going to learn most of the basics in 1 or 2 or 3 years. Some of you are going to take a little bit longer. And sure, some might take 10 years. But guys, getting stable as a software developer is not like an odyssey that takes years and years and years. So you're going to have so much time to do everything that you could possibly want. You don't have to do everything before you get a job. So ask yourself, if you want to do web, well, then maybe prioritizing the web work is the way to go. If you're into data science and machine learning, well, then have a look at the machine learning. C++, if that's something you're into, go for it. It's not super relevant outside of systems development or games development and things like that, but if that's something that you're interested in and you actually want to work with that in a fairly close future, then go for it. And then kind of let the other stuff fall on the back burner. There's no way for you guys, just give it up immediately. There's no way for you to learn everything. It's impossible. There's too much. You can spend the rest of your life and you will never master it all. So try to just accept that and follow, it sounds a little bit corny, but follow your heart. Like, what do you want? What do you actually want to do? And give that more attention. That doesn't mean that you have to give all the other stuff up. Just put that on like as a secondary thing. Prioritize the thing that you really care about, and those days when you feel a little bit, no, I've done this so much now that I feel like I need a break, then go and play with the other stuff. I do it all the time. I promise you it works. You're never going to be, of course, as good as at the stuff that you don't prioritize, but that doesn't stop you from enjoying it. So what I want you to take away from this is that if you feel that you're stretching yourself too thin and you're feeling stressed over the fact that you don't have a portfolio or stuff like that, don't feel stressed about that. Try to figure out a way for you to communicate that you are a passionate and enthusiastic developer who really cares about this profession in your way. It can be many ways. You can, I mean, you can set up a blog, start blogging about stuff like the stuff that you're learning. You can put all the extra courses that you're taking on your CV and show that, wow, you're actually doing a lot of extra work or reading a lot of stuff, and you have stuff going on, right? I mean, shit, you have a bathtub, you can do YouTube videos. You know all my tricks, just go for it. There's tons of ways for you to communicate that you really care about this profession, and that is one of the most important things in the early days when you're a junior. However, if you still feel that you're stretching yourself too thin, have a think about what's the thing that you care about, like what's in your heart, what do you want to do in the coming future. Because trust me when I say this, you will learn that stuff way before retirement time. I promise you, you will learn it faster than you can possibly imagine once you get the training. So all that other stuff, it's still there, and you can still do it, just not equally as much. And just prioritize the thing that you care about. And when you don't feel as strongly for that thing that is the here and now, then go and have a look at something else. There's tons of stuff going on, and you will never get to the bottom of the bag of things that you could be looking into when it comes to IT. Have a great day.